This is Art Television.
Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
IWS Aviation.
Good evening, and welcome to the State of Business on Art Television. I am Chavika Samarasinghe. Let's have a look at the headlines. IT sector highlights issues impeding growth. Ceylon Chamber of Commerce organizes Sri Lanka Economic Summit 2022. News in detail. The digital chapter of the Federation of Information Technology Industry Sri Lanka recently celebrated Sri Lanka Internet Day 2022. In doing so, the organization brought attention to a number of issues that plague the information technology sector. There are three factors that impede digital growth in this country. These are the insufficient supply of IT graduates to support growth, an uneven playing field for local entities, as well as policy and legal bottlenecks for fintech companies. The Federation maintains that not understanding the potential of the sector will lead to a huge loss for the country. What the country is missing out on was the focus of this year's event. The information technology business process management industry is one that can easily pull the country out of this economic quagmire. The Federation holds that if higher education institutes are geared to produce 50,000 IT graduates per annum instead of the current 10,000, it would boost forex earnings to an estimated $300 million. The Federation highlights that poor policy on equal opportunity for local entities costs the state in terms of tax levies, as well as international players who pull foreign exchange away from the country. Although fintech is a global phenomenon, providing financial benefits to all strata of society, Sri Lanka does not benefit because it lacks required policy framework. Issuing a statement to inaugurate the event, President Ranil Wickremesinghe stressed digital ecosystems play a significant role in economic recovery. It would not only present solutions to the current economic crisis, but also widen the scope of the country's earnings. Towards this end, he said that it is the duty of the government to have the necessary framework in place to foster and develop digitalization in all its forms and extend ensuing possibilities to all. The President believes that industry leaders should work in tandem with the state to keep abreast of global developments in the field of digitalization in order to formulate and implement a comprehensive national framework in this sphere. President Wickremesinghe also thanked the UNDP for its assistance in Sri Lanka's quest for digitalization. The President highlighted that the world is on the threshold of the fourth industrial revolution. With rapid automation, there is the fear that millions could lose jobs or be compelled to secure low-wage placements due to the lack of necessary training or skills. While the Internet and digitalization may present extensive opportunities, they could also be a threat to nations like ours which are vulnerable. Thus, the President maintains that we could get left behind if we do not move at the same pace as the world undergoes rapid development in this area. In his statement, President Wickremesinghe highlighted the recent National Fuel Pass QR code, which facilitated people to purchase fuel and ease queues. Speaking at the event, Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Weerasinghe stressed the importance of creating harmony between Sri Lanka's fiscal and monetary policy. He stresses that ensuring that both are aligned is important to regain macroeconomic stability. The governor said that one of the major imbalances in Sri Lanka is not having proper coordination between the two policy entities, resulting in fiscal dominance. He also stated that since May 2022, the central bank has communicated the economic challenges and how to mitigate them through the central bank's macro-fiscal policy framework. However, Governor Weerasinghe opined that as a country, Sri Lanka has not been consistent in achieving macro-fiscal policy framework objectives with rigor. Commenting on the delays of technology implementation in the banking and fiscal sector, Governor Weerasinghe agreed that the central bank, in some cases, has taken significant time, resulting in some projects being completely halted. He also spoke about delaying digital KYC solutions, but believes that it would be a game changer for the local sector. Discussing central bank digital currencies, Governor Weerasinghe said that the central bank has no plans to introduce them soon, but is closely monitoring the progress of India, where the Reserve Bank of India rolled out a pilot of its proposed digital rupee. The digital rupee bears the same value and legitimacy as a banknote or coin, except it takes no physical form, making transfers and settlements easier and more efficient. Stay tuned. We will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. The Sri Lanka Economic Summit 2022, organised by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, will explore factors vital to Sri Lanka achieving macroeconomic stability. Under the theme Resetting from Turmoil to Opportunity, the Economic Summit will be held on the 5th and 6th of December at Shangri-La, Colombo. The summit will be inaugurated by Chief Guest President Ranil Wickremesinghe on the 5th of December. The guest of honour will be Martin Razor, the World Bank's Regional Vice President for the South Asia region. World Bank Regional VP Razor will participate in a fireside chat where he will discuss key levers leading to macroeconomic stability that can play a fundamental role in economic recovery. Keynote speaker of the summit will be Parameswaran Iyer, Chief Executive Officer for the National Institution for Transforming India, (AYOG), which serves as the apex public policy think tank of the Indian government. Day 2 of the summit will begin with technical sessions focusing on macroeconomy and the reform process. Sessions that follow will explore how the private sector can be a part of the reform process. It will see the keenest minds in monetary and fiscal policy, economic reform, technology, investment, and private sector-led growth gather to discuss key macroeconomic issues and viable solutions. Addressing a recent media briefing on the Economic Summit, Chairman of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Vish Govindasamy, introduced the event.
On behalf of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, I would like to warmly welcome you all to this press conference this morning to announce the Ceylon Chamber's annual economic conference, which is to be held on the 5th and 6th of December under the theme of Resetting from Turmoil to Opportunity, where His Excellency the President Ranil Wickremesinghe will be the chief guest, and we have a keynote speaker, Mr. Iyer from the Economic Office of India, along with the chief guest, the World Bank representative, on the opening day session. So there is a long list of sessions which will be held on the 6th.
Also speaking at the press briefing, Deputy Vice Chairman of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Krishan Balendra, discussed the benefits of the Economic Summit and how it will impact the private sector.
So we will have a number of sessions on that. What are the implications of the IMF process? At the time of the conference, we may not have a final IMF board approval, but what could it entail, and what are we likely to see over the next year or two in terms of the impact on the economy from this macroeconomic restructuring that will happen to stabilize the economy. Similarly, what kind of SOE reforms, a whole discussion around SOE reforms, what kind of SOE reforms should we be looking at in the next couple of years to come out of this situation. Also, a lot on the private sector. What is the role that private sector can play? Firstly, what is the impact on the private sector from the measures to stabilize the economy? And then what is the role the private sector can play to take us out of this situation? And what are the opportunities for the private sector? So there will be a lot of discussion around opportunities also. It's not going to be all gloom and doom about the negative impacts, but it will also be what are the silver linings in this turmoil. We'll also focus on a very hot topic these days globally on the climate and sustainability, and in particular on sustainable finance.
Vijay Bahu, the new Sri Lanka Navy ship, formerly the US Coast Guard cutter Douglas Munro, was recently commissioned at the Colombo harbour. The United States, as part of its continuing commitment to strengthen Sri Lanka's ability to protect its maritime sovereignty and security, donated the ship to Sri Lanka on the 25th of October 2021. Viewing the commissioning ceremony, US Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Julie Chang, extended her appreciation to the ship's officers and sailors for their skillful handling of the ship during their long voyage from the United States. She also expressed her thanks to the families and loved ones of sailors for their sacrifice during the crew's long absence. Sri Lanka's exclusive economic zone is 7 times the size of its land area and maintains a search and rescue area nearly 25 times as large. The new vessel is capable of performing a wide range of operations. This includes conservation of marine resources, search and rescue of naval and fishing vessels in distress, and interdiction of drug and weapon smuggling, among other crucial functions. The Vijayabahu is the 3rd ship donated by the United States to the Sri Lanka Navy, preceded by the Gajabahu in 2018 and the Samudra in 2004, which continue to patrol the nation's waters. The transfer of the vessel is just one point in a long history of cooperation between Sri Lanka and the United States in preserving a free and open Indo-Pacific region. The US is committed to supporting Sri Lanka's efforts to protect its sea lanes, which are vital to alleviating the current economic crisis. Stay tuned for the stock update.
IWS Aviation.
Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The all-share price index dropped 145.72 points to close at 8,028.14, and the S&P SL20 dropped 54.99 points to close at 2,458.58. The turnover was 1.4 billion rupees, and over 32 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.
State of Business was sponsored by